Welcome back to the KSFL Radio Network. I'm your host, Joey Johnson, and I am actually joined here today with Jacob Paxton, a former quarterback from USC. He played 7 seasons in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers from 2002 to 2009, became a high school football head coach, leading his team to 2 state championships in a 4-year period, and finally retiring to become a football expert and commentator. Jacob.
Hey everybody, it's Jacob here, and we have a great matchup in store for us. We have the Melville Panthers up against the Kansas City Speeders, and I see this game coming down to the wire, and we'll tell you here just in a second.
So we're heading into the high school playoffs. Obviously, Kansas City made it to the playoffs last season, and they lost in the first round. They've never won a state championship. Melville's never won a state championship, so both of these teams are definitely going to want to win. Some of the notable players for this matchup, obviously, you can't mention Kansas City Speeders without mentioning senior running back Riley Fast, one of the best high school football players right now, the hottest one that everyone's talking about. 1,162 rush yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, 6.7 per carry average, just crazy numbers. Also 2 receiving touchdowns on top of it. Do you think Riley Fast is going to have a big game here, or is he going to run into issues with that Melville defense?
Well, Barry Owens, the D tackle from Melville, he's had a tremendous year so far, bringing up in 9 sacks. He's probably, in my eyes, one of the best defensive tackles in the state, and that's a lot because this state has a lot of football going on.
I think he's going to give Riley Fast issues, and he's been great against the run. Yeah,
and Jerome Petty. I'm not sure he can get it done, seeing as this is his biggest stage he's ever performed on.
This is his first year as the starting quarterback for Kansas City, and Jerome Petty is he's a junior. And he's got a bright future ahead of him. He threw 5 interceptions, 21 touchdowns in the 10-game stretch, the regular season and everything. And he's played pretty well. He's found Josh Davis, the wide receiver, quite a few times. So maybe that's what they're going to be looking at, Josh Davis. Maybe they can even get the pass going to Riley Fast, as he can receive as well. So, but this defense overall is one of the best I've ever seen, and it's the reason why they won 9 of their 10 games was that defense on Melville. For sure.
Well, if I'm looking at Melville here, I'm putting Gary Clayton on Josh Davis for sure. Over 90% of their snaps, I'm putting Gary Clayton on Josh Davis because Gary Clayton is an absolute lockdown guy. He has 5 interceptions, which is one of the best we've seen this whole year. On the offensive side for Melville, though, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Tommy Reed he's not the best. All right, I'm just going to say that flat out. He's not the best. The
defense has won them all their
very
games.
Well.
For sure.
He has to perform really well.
Yeah, they got to put points up on the board with the other offense because Kansas City's probably still going to score some points, but their offense is going to have to score as well. So Tommy Reed, he's going to have trouble because, on defense, Kansas City also has Dallas Clayton at defensive end. He's going to get some pressure on Tommy Reed and force him to throw some passes maybe before he wants to.
Yeah, and if for some reason, the Kansas City coach wants to put in Riley Fast, his secondary position is free safety during their nickel formation.
Exactly. He had 2 interceptions, and he's hardly even in the game on defense.
Yeah, he's had a forced fumble, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks in his limited snaps. I'd say they go to their nickel formation about 30% or 35% of their snaps. And with Riley Fast just being in there, he really puts pressure on the QB.
He's all over the field.
Everyone.
All over the field. He's that fast. How fast is he? Riley Fast. That's what everyone says. Also, a big story is where is he going to go attend college at? And that's a lot of big people's saying. He's gotten offers, I hear, for halfback, for free safety. All sorts of mini schools have offered him already offered him scholarships for to attend already because they want him on their football team for sure.
For sure. And I feel like a big question that we can start asking is, yeah, running back is his number one position. But if we put him into his secondary position at free safety for more than just what he's getting now, how productive can he be? Because we've seen so much greatness from his 35% of his snaps.
Right. And
just at free safety.
You're going but in this game you have the number one rush offense in the state against the number one rush defense in the state. So I think they'll be able to limit Riley Fast a little bit. I think he's still going to have a good game, maybe a touchdown. They might be able to hold him under 100 yards. We'll see. But they're going to have to pass a little bit more than they're used to, for sure, with Jerome Petty Indeed. And everything like that. So,
what do you think the score is going to be for this game?
That's what I was just about to ask you. What is the prediction? I am going to go with, let's see, I think Kansas City's just barely going to pull it off. I think it'll be a close one. I'm going to go with 24-21. They're just going to win by a field goal.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty offensive and defensive faced matchup. So I'm going to go just slightly above you. I'm going to say it's going to become a 28-32 game. Kansas City wins.
Wow. So we're both picking Kansas City, but I honestly think you could go either way. Melville's very talented football team as well as the Kansas City Speeders. But anyways, thanks, Jacob, for being on the show. We'll be with you next week for the next playoff game. So anyways, that has been Joey Johnson here with Jacob Paxton here on the KSFL Radio Network. Goodbye. It's the first round of the high school playoffs. Kansas City takes on Melville here. Winner moves on to the next round. The loser, their season will be done for the season. A lot of football to watch here as Riley Fast leads his team here in Kansas City, who went 10-0, ready to move on in the playoffs to get to their first state championship as well. Melville will also be looking to do the same. They have a good rush defense. Will they be able to slow down Riley Fast is the big question in this game today. Petty's gonna fake to Riley Fast, throws it deep. Davis has the catch for a first down. Tommy Reed drops back to pass, and here comes Dallas Clayton from the back to sack him from the blind side. And off to Riley Fast up the middle, and that will pretty much do it here in Kansas City. Welcome back to KSFL Radio Network. I'm back here with Jacob Paxton once again. Last week, the Kansas City Speeders knocked off the Melville Panthers 35-21, an incredible victory for the Kansas City Speeders. They got it done, which means this week in round 2 of the playoffs, they're going to be playing the Sikeston Bulldogs. Another good matchup, I think, coming up, but this one I think is a little bit more lopsided, where I think Kansas City can have the advantage running the football with Riley Fast. They can go back to running on this one because we've seen a little bit of issues with Sikeston and their rush defense. So that's going to be a huge issue going into this game for their defense, and they're going to have to figure something out for that. What do you think?
Well, obviously, their defense is the main contributor to Sikeston's success. Now, the Kansas City Speeders, running the ball has always been their forte, and I think they're going to go straight back to it.
Absolutely.
Last game,
Riley Fast was held to 62 yards against Melville, which makes sense because they're the number one rush defense, but they still found a way to win. They got some passing going, and the defense did really well against Melville's offense. So going into game 2, Kansas City, I feel like Kansas City has a huge advantage here. This might just be me, but I think Riley Fast is due for a huge game in this one.
Oh, for sure. I mean, after the lackluster performance in the last game, he did perform better receiving, but they really neutralized his rushing, and that really helped Melville get to the amount of points that they did. But even though they still took a loss and Kansas scored 35.
Oh, yeah.
They need to try and contain Riley Fast in order to even have a shot.
Well, the thing is with last week, yeah, Riley Fast only had 62 rush yards, but he still had, 27 receiving yards and a touchdown? Like, they decided to throw to him a couple times, which was huge for them. So that's how they kind of adjusted. But this one, I think they're gonna run all over him, which means I think Sykeston needs to have a good offense. So as for Jerome Petty's gonna a little bit pressure off this week. He'll be okay. And then as for Sykeston, Cedric Justice, he's gonna have some problems because we have Dallas Clayton again. He's gonna get pressure. He had pressure on Tommy Reed last week. I think he's gonna get pressure on Stephen Ford, maybe a little bit this week as well. So I think Kansas City's got a huge advantage.
Yeah, and for sure. And especially after that devastating injury to Lucas Wallace. He was the middle linebacker for Sykeston. He was one of their main contributors on that defense and is once again,
Absolutely.
Just like Melville, one of the reasons why they're here. But the fact that he unfortunately got injured, they say it's a dislocated right ankle, but we'll see how that goes. Right. I hope all is good for him, and I hope that they're able to get back to where they are and even extend their push towards the postseason. I mean, this game's not even started yet, and I'm already assuming that Kansas is going to win here.
They're gonna have a lot of adjustments on Sykeston's side, but Kansas City's going to be running that football with Riley Fast a lot. So going into it, what's going to be our final prediction here? I think Kansas City's going to win. My prediction is going to be 35-10. I think they're going to pretty much blow them out. That's my opinion, but what do you think? 35-10 for me. What do you have? Who do you have winning this game?
I think they're going to blow them out as well. I don't know if Cedric Justice can get this done. After all, he is one of the main, if only, weapons on himself on that offense. So I'm going to go ahead and say 27-9.
27-9, but you heard it here first, and so we'll see you back next week after the semifinals. We'll be talking about the state championship of here in Missouri. So this has been KSFL Radio Network. We'll see you next week. Hand off right side, it's Riley Fast, and he's going to get a good gain for the first down. Hand off up the middle for Riley Fast, he's gone! Touchdown, Kansas City! Tossed to Fast to the right side, and he's up free! There's no way you can catch him, Jose! He's gone! Touchdown, Kansas City! Justice is gonna roll out to his left, and he's head balls out, and it's picked up by Kansas City. Riley Fast takes the handoff to the left. He's going to get downfield and knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. And Riley Fast has 178 yards with 2 touchdowns. Justice is gonna throw over the middle. Robinson hit hard by Smith. What a play by the defense. Smith completely destroys Robinson. And that is going to do it. The Kansas City Speeders are going to win this game 27-3 over Sykeston and head to the semifinals of the high school playoffs, 1 game away from the state championship. Riley Fast, what a game. He had 199 yards rushing for 2 touchdowns after only rushing for 62 yards last week. This week he comes up big and absolutely has a monster game over Sykeston, who could not get anything rolling. Just like we predicted, Kansas City ruled this game, and they're 1 win away from having a chance at the state championships. We will see you here next week to see if the Kansas City Speeders will go all the way. Well, now there's only 1 game left until the state championship, and the Kansas City Speeders will be playing Baldwin for a chance to go to the state championship. This is going to be a big game. Riley Fast has to play well. The whole entire team has to play well, as this is not going to be an easy task for this football team. Will they do it? We're about to find out this week. And they absolutely destroyed Sykeston 27-3. Who knew that would happen? But all I know is that they're a game away from the state championship, and it ought to be good. And this team's got to be feeling pretty excited right now for the opportunity to go to the state championship.
And off to the right side, it is Riley Fast on the first play of the game. He's gonna go down the sideline and go all the way. Touchdown, Kansas City, to start off the semifinal playoff game. He gets the catch, but Riley Fast lays the boom down on him. I just can't believe how lopsided the beginning of this game has been. Riley Fast has been on offense. He's been on defense. He's been doing it all to help his team get to the state championship. Petty fakes the handoff. Right side to Fast. He's going to throw it deep. He's going to catch it for the touchdown. And the Kansas City Speeders making this lead even bigger. Man, Riley Fast is just making this way too easy for Kansas City. Here's the snap, and Riley Fast comes in fast and gets the sack for Kansas City. Are you kidding me? And Kansas City didn't just win this game. They dominated it. They win against Baldwin 42-3 as Riley Fast comes up with some big stats heading into the state championship. I feel sorry for the team that gets to play this guy, as he is an absolute monster on offense, and now he's proven to be a monster on defense. What can this guy not do? But your Kansas City Speeders are headed to the state championship for the first time.
My whiskey on ice is melting down, my blood is running